Hey Daltile, this is Josh with AccuFloor. It's been a while since I've seen a lot of you, and to say that 2020 has been a crazy year would be quite the understatement. It's really prevented us from doing what we really enjoy doing most, which is getting out and visiting you guys, visiting your sales centers, talking with your CSRs, training them, talking with your customers, and also getting in the car and traveling with your salespeople to visit their customers. We hope to remind you who we are, what sets us apart, and how we can help you guys. There are a lot of advantages that AccuFloor can give Daltile that other vendors cannot. Primarily among those is that we are exclusive to you, and that's important for a lot of reasons. The main reason among those seems to be margins. And what that means specifically is that when you take the time to bring our products in, to show them to your customers, when we hook them on our system, they have to come see you guys to get them. So when a customer comes in, and right now you might have System X, well, they'll say, well, I can get it across the street for $5 cheaper. Well, you're going to lower your price, you're going to decrease your margins. You keep doing that, it's a race to the bottom, and that's not good for you, it's not good for anybody. Another advantage that we provide to you guys is our exclusive trainings. And we're really good at those, and they're always very successful. What we'll do is we'll go out and visit your customers. Typically, it's an initial talk just across the table, but once they want to adopt the system, it's very important for them to get their installers to buy in. And so what we'll do is we'll go set up in the company's warehouse, perhaps on a job, do demos, and we'll get down and we'll actually install tile using thinset, laying out the grid of a floor, using our leveling system, one, to show them how it's different than systems they may have been using in the past, but most importantly, to show them how they can increase their productivity while maintaining a very, very good high-quality floor, eliminating lippage. We also show the companies how they can put massive amounts of money back into the company by switching to our leveling system because of the unique design, where typically we save you 3 to 4 times the amount of the current leveling system that they would be using. Another advantage that AccuFloor provides is our inventory. Since you guys are our only customer, we have a very good grasp of what we have, how much we sell of each item, when we need to reorder, so that you don't place a PO and we pick up the phone and call you and tell you it's on back order. It just doesn't happen. As far as I know, we are the only vendor in your system who will accept returns with no restocking fees, no questions asked. Oh, it's been longer than X amount of time, you're stuck with it. So when an item hits your turn list and becomes an idle asset, you pick up the phone, you call us, and we'll take it back and get it off your hands. That very rarely happens, but if it does, don't worry about it. We'll take care of you. It was clear to us that every other system on the market was some sort of a copy of each other. Basically, you slide something underneath the tile, you clamp something on top of the tile, and then you fix the problem. Well, if it slows people down or it's too expensive and they can't afford to use it, then you haven't fixed any problems. Given our experience in the industry, we knew that we could come up with something that was faster and less expensive. So that's what we set out to do. What we noticed is that every other system has some sort of a solid piece of plastic on the bottom. You can't put that in the corners because then you would be pushing thinset out of the corners. You know, I know, everyone else knows that the corners are the weakest point of any tile installation. 9 times out of 10, if a tile breaks, it's going to break in the corner, not out in the middle of the tile. The manufacturers of these other leveling systems know that as well, and that's why they tell you to set this piece back from the corner, which gives you, on a grid pattern, 4 pieces per corner, and on an offset pattern, you'll have 3 pieces per intersection. So we were actually the first ones also to look at this and say, well, if you combine the spacing aspect of this and the leveling part into one piece, then you've cut the number of pieces that you need in half, which again is much more efficient. So you see the challenge that we were up against is trying to create something that we could put in the corners without displacing the thinset. And since we had already combined the leveling and the spacing into one piece, we're going to drastically reduce the number of pieces required in order to give yourself a flat floor. What we did was we created our patented I-shaped base. As you can see from the picture on your screen, this is not pushing thinset out, it's not displacing anything, it's giving you that direct contact that's very important between your tile, your thinset, and your subfloor. And with the I-shaped base, you're making contact under all 4 tiles on a grid pattern, which allows you to manipulate 4 tiles with one device. Now, the next challenge we had to overcome was I would see people continually use our system like the other systems, and I would talk to them and explain to them the value of the I-shaped base and the fact that the I-shaped base allows you to put this in the corner without displacing thinset. And they would nod their head and say, yes, I understand that, but Josh, here's what's happening is I'm using a rectified tile and a 1/16 joint. When I slide your wedge in there, I've covered up the corners and I can't see the intersection. The last thing that I want to have happen is to go through the next day and kick these things out and see that something's misaligned. So what did we do? We redesigned our wedge to give you what we call the window wedge. The window wedge is a simple innovation that has huge impact. Installers love this. It gives them the ability to now use our leveling device in the corner and see the intersections to make sure that everything is perfectly aligned so there's no more guessing. If you look at the next image, it's a simple side-by-side illustration of the AccuFloor leveling system being able to be used in the corner with the window wedge as opposed to some variation of every other system that's on the market. So what you'll see in this photo is that one piece is going to be much more efficient than putting 4 pieces in a corner. So right there you can see automatically that we are much more efficient. And I know I've mentioned price before, so let's talk about that. So let's say that you're selling System X right now, and they're roughly 8 cents a piece, let's call it. So with our system, when you buy them in the 2,000 count boxes, they come out to about 7.5, 8 cents a piece. So you might be thinking, okay, well, these are the same price, why would I switch? Well, when you take into account that you need 1 piece versus 3 or 4 pieces for theirs, our 2,000 count box covers the same square footage as 6,000 or 8,000 pieces of our competitors. So when you think about the amount of time it takes to install 8,000 pieces versus 2,000 pieces, that's a lot of time. And now you're looking at 8 cents in a corner versus 24 cents in a corner or 32 cents in a corner. So you can start adding that math up really fast to see that you're going to save your customers a lot of money. And your installers are going to be happier because they're going to get off the job sooner onto the next one, which makes them more money. Another advantage that we provide is the strength of our system. There's a lot of systems out there that you can pick up the piece of the leveling device, you take it like this, and it breaks. You have 2 pieces in your hand. We challenge you to take ours. You can pull these things about as hard as you want and they don't break. Other systems that are wedge designs, the wedge is made out of very brittle plastic. It's most of the time a polyethylene, something like that. We created our wedges out of a nylon. It's flexible and it's twist. It's very durable. We offer a lifetime warranty against breakage on our wedges. The number one thing would like for you to take from this video is we're here for you. So whatever form that takes, we want you to know that we'll make it happen, whether that's a phone call, whether it's a Zoom call, whether it's getting on an airplane and coming to see you, training your CSRs, traveling with your salespeople. I've even had times where I've shown up at a store and a manager says, here's my 6 biggest accounts, call them before you show up, and I'll just go sell them myself, which is fine. That's great. That's really all we ask, because when we can get in front of someone who's using another system, we can always get them to switch. There's a customer in Florida who just in the last 2 weeks has switched to our system, and they figure that it's going to save them a little over $200,000 a year just by switching from leveling System X to the AccuFloor leveling spacers. We went out and did 2 days worth of training in Florida for their installers. Their installers are all on board. They're excited because they know that they're going to make more money as well. So you see our phone numbers, our email addresses on the screen. We'd love it if you picked up the phone and reached out to us. If not, we'll reach out to you in the next coming weeks, give you plenty of time to watch this video. I would like to encourage you. We're going to do a series of very short, 45-second to 2-minute videos on each one of our products that will kind of give you a little bit better idea of who we are and what we can do for you. We really look forward to seeing you again, and we thank you for the opportunity.